Hi, everybody. This is Allison from Allycat Creations. How are you? Hi. Please like, share, and subscribe to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work, a connect the dot, an epiphany, a mind explosion, new books to explore, new authors to look at, artwork. Allycatcreations211.com, you can see a big, expansive portfolio of all the different things I do, and I customize. So don't be afraid to email me. That's the way you're going to get things from me, is by emailing. So come on over and check it out and see God working through me. Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness sakes, I'm exhausted. A very trying and very long week. The universe is like, happy April Fool's Day. It's Mercury retrograde. And even though you're not really the one being influenced or affected necessarily by this energy, here you are. Oh my goodness sakes. So I'm being tested from the universe. Big time. So this is going to be a spiritual soul advice with some cards because I'm going to need a reading as well. I usually do take the advice that the cards give, but like I'm a little like universe thanks, but no thanks. And I know this is higher dimensionality lessons that I'm going through. This is no longer a third dimensional replaying karma, ending cycles. No. This is like testing. 1, 2, 3 on the microphone, drop it. And I know that people are getting waves of this. It's just an everyday thing just triggering the living shit out of you. And you're being tested to see how you're responding to the stress and to the circumstances that are being thrown at you. I can't unfortunately go into details as to what the hell has been going on. Yeah, see, universe AI agrees here. Let's just say it involves the Viking. And it involves a situational that has nothing to do with me, but I'm thrown into the mix because his hands are tied. And I'm also a witness, per se. Fun times. So there's a lot of drama been going on the last couple of days that is heart-wrenching to just watch. It is jaw-dropping at moments to see like what children are capable of doing and the nastiness that children can be and how manipulated they are. Oh my goodness, that just showed its reared its ugly head. And I stood very calm and very, as somebody that's never been a mom, very concerned. Spoke my truth rawly, but in a compassionate way, which wouldn't have been me a couple of years ago. I just got the Ruth Montgomery books. I only was able to find a few that were on the inexpensive side. I mean, like $6 and less. I found some books. I'm going to read it. She talks about walk-ins. She writes about people who have walk-ins. I want to understand that walk-in concept a little bit better. I know I am, but it's my higher self that walked in. It's not another entity or another aspect of me that's playing another role in another galaxy, in another universe, which, yes, it's all a part of everybody and everything. But my 6.5 higher self definitely dropped in because I would have not reacted well with the shit show, clown circus, arena fun that just came in my world. April Fool's Day. um So I wake up now at 5. Like when I used to work in the school system in New York, I woke up at 4. I was on a bus at 5. So I am capable of being a morning person. Today was really rough because Viking doesn't have a coffee maker like I do. And I wasn't going to sit there to brew a whole pot of coffee when I just needed like a little thing. So I only had 1 cup of coffee. That was not a good thing. I posted it on Facebook. For those of you who are on my Facebook, you saw that. Like, oh gosh. So I've been doing this every day during the week. Yeah. And I'm there to protect. So I asked the universe, what's going on? Like, what? Because this is a big test. The old self would have ran the other direction and would have like not necessarily given up on my relationship. Um, but the things that have transpired in the last 3 days has been very highly overwhelming and very scary in terms of like where fate's gonna drop the dice and what parallel universe we're gonna jump into, what timeline. I know what my time I'm jumping into one of my higher timelines right now, like getting a job, continuing with my channel, and I'm creating artwork. I got some fantastic like downloads on some good stuff I started. It's like a process, but I'm starting some cool ass kick-ass artwork. So I know that I'm going to be on my highest timeline, but I don't know where they're going to be on their timelines. And again, I don't read people for that reason, because we have our free will to choose which one of our millions of timelines we can jump onto. And there's no highest and best. There's always highest and best in the present moment. You keep raising your vibration, you keep going up. The story doesn't end. So I don't know where they're at. And I was like, okay, I gotta talk. I gotta get this vented out. Like, he obviously is not spiritual enough to even understand how energetically draining it is to be amongst 2 children who are empaths, who do not know how to anchor their energy, and me sitting in the middle of his house, anchoring my energy in so that I can project my light body. Not not ideal. Let's just say it that way. I'm still not a master at it. I can do it in little spurts, but when I'm usually in my house, and I'm gonna call this episode Anchoring Your Energy, because it's very important in the law of one, especially the law of one. Like, Caller Rockard was channeling Quo, and I'm just giving this as an easy, if you read it, example, where you're showing up to the same spot and building up energy. So wherever you're sitting and meditating, or you're doing your, yoga, your workout, your washing dishes, your meditations, you're doing it usually in the same spot, and usually it's within the same area of a house. So like, I use my entirety of my house to meditate. Like, I have a beanbag over here to lay down if I can't sit up because of my back, but I have a pyramid with a huge copper pyramid I bought for my birthday last year that I use constantly, and I sit on a meditation pillow. So my back has to be propped in a specific way to sit like that. But I have that. And then when I'm sitting and doing people's card readings, I'm right next to the pyramid. It's like right behind me. And then I'm here doing a lot of work. So, and I'm upstairs, and I'm doing a lot of meditating when I'm home. So my energy is anchoring into this land. I'm forming the energy around me constantly. I've cleared this land. I give it, I sage it. I put black salt around my property. I put white salt around my property. Florida water. I try to clear as much negative entities or lost souls or whatever have you. I try to do that as often as I possibly can, with understanding things are being uprooted right now and we got to take extra precautions. So it was difficult for me to sit in not an unfamiliar place. I've been to the guy's house a bunch, but I'm not anchored my energy there. I have blessed it. I have tried to clear it. I have tried to do certain things. It's very dense energy, but this is like half of Indiana right over here. So anchoring your energy is just really like super grounding yourself and rooting yourself into a space, into a place. It could be in one spot, or it could be in multiple spots, or it could be the property or the land that you inhabit. I tend to try to anchor in the land here in this house, because I have a bigger property. So I try to anchor in using my toroidal field, using my cords, the roots, all the grounding. Take grounding and just like add the extra layer. And like putting a dome around your house of light. So I'm in his house. I'm trying to do all this stuff to figure out how can I just, it takes a time to build this energy up. What to do? And everything is going batshit crazy. I finally was able to just get myself to a state of, okay, now I see where he is. Okay. Okay, no, I feel good. Everything's gonna be okay. It's gonna suck for a bit, but this is gonna be okay. And then the firestorm of like the aftermath of like the shit show that continues to be playing in the theaters near my house. And how I'm dealing with that energy is I'm not paying attention to it. Like I'm giving everybody involved compassion and grace. I see all angles, emotionally attached, detached. I'm not emotionally attached, that's what I meant to say, to any one specific thing. That might sound like a cold bitch kind of thing to say, but I still give everybody I come into contact with physical, unconditional love. I stopped attaching my emotions to things, people, and places, because the memories are always going to be there. So I can always go back and then I can choose, can I go to a positive memory or the negative memory? I rather choose the positive memories. Why do I want to keep replaying crap that I've healed? Unless I'm trying to help explain something to help better someone else, but I still detach that emotion away from it so it's not lingering in me. When you're anchoring your energy, when you're grounding, you try to not want to have a lot of crap around you influencing you energetically. So if you're in a really bad mood, yeah, go ground to the tree. Go outside. Even if you can't take your shoes off, because listen, it was hailing this morning. It was freezing. Hence my hat. And it's April 4th. And I'm still wearing thermals, which is okay. I can't take my shoes off. So I touch my tree. I have two trees and I interlineally go by both. And I walk my property. I'm connecting with nature that way. And I'm grounding and I'm letting nature take away my gunk. the negative black gooey shit, negative brown auras away from me. I usually don't do this on screen, but I'm in the flow and I'm not stopping. When you get rid of, you take a shower, you could do the same thing. If you can't get outside to a tree, you can't talk to and connect with nature, to let nature take your problems or take that energy away from you, take the shower, take a bath, watch everything go down the drain. Like, cleanse yourself before you actually sit there to ground in meditation or really connect to the earth, because you don't necessarily, it's not that she won't transmute the energy. It's just at this moment in time, earth is going through a shit ton of changes. She already moving on up. She's already on that east side and she got that piece of pie. She's waiting for us to do it. And she's cleansing at the same time. It ain't pretty. We're seeing the changes. We're seeing the cataclysms. We're seeing the outside world falling and crumbling apart in front of us. Now, on a micro scale, that's happening to a lot of us. Like, I'm not the only one that has getting phone calls like, you got to get over here. Oh my God, like, right? I'm not the only one experiencing this. This is happening to a lot of people. It's how you're handling it. It's what energy you're feeding to it, if any at all. What I'm feeding it is love. Whatever happens is going to happen because that's the contract that they signed. I can't control that. The only thing I control is my response to it. The old me would have ran away and said, I can't do this kind of relationship. This is way too over my head. I am not going to stay here and deal with this nonsense. Adios. Wish you well. Bye-bye. That's old me. New me is like, okay, so you have a responsibility. When people hit hard times, are you just going to give up on them? Are you just going to run away from them because you can't handle the emotional craziness that's going on? I'm not going to give up on them. I'm not going to give up on myself. I'm not going to, unless I am pushed away or told to go away, I'm not going nowhere. That's the choice that I made. But I'm not attaching. I'm not crying over the spilled milk that's been happening. I'm just giving them empathy and grace and my worldly worlds of wisdom. It's what I've been trying to do, especially with the girls, because they're not seeing big picture. They're seeing small picture. They're seeing in the present moment. This is, the emotional states of a 12-year-old pubescent child. Holy shit. Right. And I know because I was there. I remember myself back then. So all this is going on. I'm exhausted, but so is everybody else. So the things that I'm now seeing playing out in the theater near us is like total upheaval of shit. It's like getting everything balanced. But we're doing this balancing act because the full moon that was in a lunar eclipse was in Libra. So now we're balancing the scales. So that also means like everything is being balanced. In a fire sign, my birthday's in 2 weeks. I'm a fire. I'm fire. Fire. Air just makes it amplify. And that is where I'm proud of myself. I'm not emoting much. I'm sitting back. I'm doing, hey, I'm helping out in the best ways that I can. I'm being very supportive in the ways that I can. I'm not overstepping boundaries. I'm not understepping. I'm stepping up to the plate to be a participant in my relationship. People hit hard times all the time. It's how you're reacting to those events, and it's rough. It's how we act to things. But I noticed with children, because they're not the only ones I've seen this with. I've seen it with a lot of different children and different age groups. Children are so into the phone. They're so into technology. They're so distracted. Their level of getting attention, if you're not doing something for them, I'm bored. Get a book. What do you mean? I'm modeling this behavior. I'm sitting. We're going to get into this. I promise. I'm almost done with it. I'm sitting in the morning, besides drawing and doing artwork. I'm sitting and reading. I'm modeling to them. Like, I don't need the television to be on to be pacified. I don't need to be on my phone either. I'm reading a book. And then I took more books out of my book bag, and I'm like, oh, look, I got this book. And then I have like 12 other books I got to read. They're baffled. They're only experiencing the present moment, which is not a bad thing, because that's what we're all going to have to get used to anyways. But it's in the way that they're experiencing the present moment that they're not able to consciously cognize the bigger picture and the consequences of actions and the consequences of others' actions when things come to shit hitting the fan scenario. This is concerning. We need the kids to have bigger pictures, to understand different perspective. Just because, and kids are very easily manipulated as well. I can see it. We got to get on another page. We need to really, if you have children, or even if they're grown, but they're still young, and look, take a step back and look at how they're analyzing like a predicament. A situation comes up. How are they handling it? Objectively look at it. Don't sit there and play doctor, but just take a look at, are they scatterbrained? Are they foggy? Are they going and flipping into the red line? They're gonna be violent. What is it? How is it that they're reacting? That's key. Because then many of you could step in with that kind of advice, like, hey, like, you got to look at it from this perspective. Like, this is not the biggest deal. You're making it out to be this huge thing when it's really a small little sliver of a matter, right? It depends on what the situation is, and I'm not taking away from anybody's situation. I don't like when people are very dismissive with like, well, someone has it worse than you. Well, thank you for dismissing my feelings. I can tell you right now, when I was down 97 pounds, didn't eat, and I was hangry, and people like, well, third world people have it worse than you. Okay, thank you. I understand that, but you're still not understanding how I'm feeling. And you're not being supportive, you're dismissing me. We got to teach the kids to ground. I showed the girls the other night how spirit works. They have a tap light on their ceiling. When I walked in to talk with them, the light, it's a sensor, and it's one of those really cheap things, right? I have them underneath my kitchen cabinet, so it lights up at night. When I walk in the kitchen, I don't have to put my lights on. I walked in, nothing went on. And then I said something important and that light came on. No one moved. And then I asked Spirit to turn it off, and it turned it off on command. And I asked it to turn it back on. We were having a little fun, and the girls kind of got freaked out. Tangible evidence. But I was explaining to them that they're taking on too much energy from other people, and they're not ciphering what is theirs and what is someone else's. And I told them to start imagining the bubble going around them and having their tree grow roots into the ground, and your tree leaves are reaching up into space. And I told them, only you, I can't force you to do that, but I think you should try using that more often. They need to learn how to anchor their energy into the house, so that when they're home, they can feel safe. They don't have thought forms that they're creating, PK manifestations. They're creating this stuff. They don't even realize it. It's so chaotic. And when you don't have a grounded person in your house or in your surroundings, energy is going to be chaotic, and emotional states and how people treat other people is going to culminate and make things worse or make things hostile. What do you think is going on around the world right now? We got a solar eclipse, regardless if you can see it or not. Who fucking gives a shit? Oh, it's once in a lifetime. Yeah, but if you live in another lifetimes and you can go back and whiz and through the holodeck of the Akash and go, oh, that's what I missed. Okay, great. Hi, Venus. Holy shit. There's an angel whizzing by me. They're levitating. Right? Like that a little holographic image. Right? But people feed into a lot of this, and that's okay. I enjoy it. Whether it's real or not, it doesn't matter. It's the emotional states that everybody's putting out about it that we need to really start tuning into, whether it's good for us or bad. I get a lot of people, especially when I'm saying, like, I'm having a moment. I love to help everybody, but when shit hits the fan and my energy is like focused on certain people, more than one, that I have to deal with and I'm interacting with in my private life, like, just take space. A lot of people are asking me questions that if you would only go inside yourself to ask, why are you doubting your intuition? I don't mind answering questions. I don't mind giving people like my thoughts on things. I do that in these videos anyway. But are you doing the work? I know more people are. I see the changes in the chats, and my gremlins have been acting up, and just life has been thrown at me. So I'm like trying to multitask like a million things. I think I'm doing a great job of doing all of that, but I'm definitely crashing at this moment in time in terms of tiredness. Taking care of myself is a radical act of love. I got that today in the mail. Like, you can't make this up. Oh, it fell all the way over there. Hang on, guys. Oh, that hurt. I'm ready to go big, rise up, and step into my power. Say it with enthusiasm. I got these two cards today. I was excited. I was happy to get them. Because I use them too. Like I had to really like remind myself, like I'm human. I'm entitled to have a moment. As happy and as cheerful and as much as I am love and light, and I emote that in my field, like, yeah, there are days that, well, a week now, a few days, that I'm being tested, and that test takes a lot of my energy away from me. So if I'm very gracefully saying, like, I'm having a moment and I have stuff going on in my private life that I'm going through in the moment, like, I'm answering you not so you feel ignored, but just to say, hi, I'm not available right now. Write what you need down, and and then people question marks and like dot 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 dot. Like, I need to know now. Well, then ask yourself. Boundaries. I have them too. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just, there are, if I get bombarded by a lot of people, a shit ton of people. Because sometimes it's not even about Allison's information. It's, oh, can you give this to somebody? Can you pass this along? And I don't mind doing that, but don't, like, I'm just a messenger. If they don't read it, that's not my fault. And do you know how many of those people get a shit ton of, like, a mega ton of stuff? And it is only 24 hours in this linear time space, which I kind of stopped going with time. I don't like to deal with it. And, there are things I have to wake up for and have a time to be in the place for, but everything else, I'm like, I don't know what time it is. I don't care. I'm trying to live my best self in a higher dimension, higher than where we are now. And I hope others are striving to do the same thing. Yes, the universe is testing it, a lot of us, and it's going to come in waves. I didn't know this capacity was going to happen, and it's not really happening to me. It's not really even. I'm just a bystander in the tailwind, being rustled about, and like, oh, like, you can help me, right? And of course, I'm not going to say no. So, like, that's how I'm being dragged in and out. But that's where my role needs to be. I need to anchor the energy for them. That's hard. Now, I'm only bringing my personal stuff up because it is something that we need to discuss moving in the bigger picture, right? Like I was just talking about. This is like the kids are thinking small picture, the here and the now, and I'm going to benefit, but not seeing like all the repercussions that could happen if I went this way or that way with my emotional state or my reactions or what I spoke out into the world. We're in this energy flux, in this portal, this vortex, this feeling. A lot of people are feeling it. You are a light beam on a grid that no one could see. You are a part of that GPS grid. Straight up to source, the entanglement of other densities are seeing you as this light post. You're here to anchor your energy and to be the lighthouse. How can you be a lighthouse if you're not taking care of yourself and you're allowing other things outside of yourself to really affect you in a negative way? If you get anything from reconstructing reality and visions from Venus, is that you have to start doing things in love, the vibration, the frequency of love. You got to meet the fear with love. We don't know what's going to happen. Everybody's predicting some crazy shit. I say don't worry about it. It's just another day. Yeah, there is a timeline dilation happening. But they've been happening. This is nothing new. This is nothing new. Solar flashes have been happening for a long time. We are just now raising into our awareness that they are happening. There's a difference between, it's like blissful ignorance. It's like yeah, we want to be in ignorance sometimes. We want to be in bliss. We don't want to have to worry about other stuff that we all analyze and think about, where other people don't even like care. They're not even there in that awareness. They just live in this shell. And they move about the world like they don't care. And they're just doing them. Right? And a lot of us wish we could be that way, but we know we can't. We need to focus on our reactions. Are you healed? You're being tested. I know I am. And I know I'm passing. There are things I need to clean up, but I'm definitely being tested. And it's not a third dimensional test. This is higher dimensional test that I'm receiving in a 3D body. Not fair, but we signed up for a lot of this. Take that scenario and now put it outside of yourself. Now everybody's projecting this spew, their hatred, their anger, their remorse, their grief, their guilt, blaming, shaming, pointing fingers. What do you think that's going to look like when everybody's manifesting that shit out into the universe? Earthquakes, things are going to start happening. And if we go into the Curtis books, please, I implore you to listen or buy the books, because holy crap, they're saying this. It's individualized karma, it's region karma, it's national karma, it is country globular. And I don't go by the globe, but expansive earth, expansive realm, the simulated matrix. Doesn't matter how you perceive it. Here's reality. You have really bad emotions. You really think bad things are going to be attracted to you. Some things are out of your control. And no, you didn't think about that because you're thinking about sparkle farts and laser beams coming out of buttholes and happy things. And you totally had something sideswipe you off of your right. That shit happens. Like, I had a really good April Fool's Day until I got a phone call, and it was a very scary one. And those things happen. How do you react to that? Are you feeding the outside chaotic energy? Because, yeah, your personal emotional state does affect everybody else. And it does affect everything around you. It affects your toroidal field. It affects your level of vibratory state. So anchor your energy in where you are most frequenting. Sit, and you could take the chain, your little entangled part of you, and take it, picture an anchor in your head, and anchor it into the middle of the earth. Anchor it into a crystal cave. Whatever you see the middle of this plane of existence is, drop an anchor into it. If you're sitting at your desk every day, that's where you're going to want to do it. If you're in the, bathroom a lot, that's where you want to do it. If you have a place you meditate frequently, or you switch it up, anchor in those spots. Build up the positive energy. This is the frequency a lot of us are doing to help other people without knowing it. We anchor our energy. A lot of us are introverts. I usually am either in someone's house, building up my own energy in their house and anchoring it there, or I'm out and about, but I'm fine. Where do you spend the most time? If you can feel energy when you walk into a room. Are you happy? Are you smiling? Even if shit happened and you're having a bad day, like, does that place in your home or wherever you're dwelling, does that make you feel a certain way? Address it. I made sure after I got out of that home in New York, I can never forget my mom's words. Like, once we go, it's yours. You could do what you want with it. Make it how you would like it. We're gone and long gone. We don't care at that point. Well, I had that inkling to start doing things my way in the house. It took a while. I had to get a lot of releasing, a lot of healing, a lot of energy buildup needed to be released. Once that started to take place, I started changing the colors on the walls. I started putting some little touches and different things of me in the house until I finally like got my ass in gear to do it. Now, when I moved to here, the same thing, like, oh, clean effing slate, rock on. I'm going to make this house the way, and it's not necessarily how I really want it, but it's what I have in my budget and what I'm able to afford. So I got everything at cost-effective prices. I put the walls, the paint on, and I'm happy. I need more storage. This house only has 3 closets, and one is really the only big one that actually stores anything. This house has no storage. So I'm having to create ingenious ways to create storage. And I'm going off on tangents for a reason, because I want you to see it's a lot going on in the energy right now. Today, I was wiped out. I had a long day. But I always came back to my center. When you have days like that and weeks, shit is just raveling. You're just like, I don't care anymore. I'm tired. I'm hurting. Whatever your circumstances, you're over it. I like to come into my space and just be. Shut everything off and just do me. How many of you could do that? Took me a year to anchor my frequency and energy into this house, my higher frequency. I have a lot of work to do in that backyard, energetic wise, in around here. If I'm not anchored into positive energy and into the earth energy right now, and if I wasn't walking, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be calm. So take what I'm telling you with just explaining my circumstances, apply it to you. How are you reacting to like these days? The shit going on outside, chaos. Even if you're just like la-di-da and the plants are growing in my house and I love my cat and dog and everything's great. Okay, but what is going on the outside of you? Is that affecting you? Are you allowing it to affect you? If not, awesome. That totally sounds like you're grounded. But you can always anchor your energy into a space. So that way, like I needed to project myself because certain elements weren't home. And I needed to make sure what I needed to do to prepare myself mentally for the next step, stage, whatever, with the situation at hand. I like to be prepared emotionally. Are you preparing yourselves emotionally? And yeah, a lot of things are unknown, right? There's a lot of things that can happen in a snap that are just freak shit, left field. But it's how you react to that left field and that snap. Holy crap, took me out of, sideswiped me. That surprise. Are you coming at it at fear, or you're coming at it all like, oh, okay, that needs to be addressed. How do I address this? Let's rationalize. Let's be calm about the situation. Let's think different perspectives. Let's take a bigger picture. Let's come to neutrality. I'm not going to give my energy yet to anything unless I'm looking at the bigger picture. Are you doing that? Are you focusing that? If not, I highly suggest to start anchoring your energy in a spot that you are. This way, when you build up your energy, your intuition gets stronger. If you're clairvoyant or all the clairs, they're going to start developing even quicker. Your abilities will come online. Your remembering is going to start taking place. It is a beautiful, beautiful freaking thing. It makes me want to cry at times when I read people's messages and they say, thank you so much. That book is really impacting my life. I get emails from people. Wow, I didn't think of that. Thank you for pointing that out. That's why I'm here. That's my mission. I want as many people to come with me and to experience the beauty that I'm seeing in the world. I'm not watching. I'm not on Telegram. I check it. I like to see the positive things. I like to laugh. Viking was having such a very difficult day yesterday. I don't blame him. It's valid. It's valid. And I tried making him laugh, and I finally got something to make him like distract his brain. And he was laughing his ass off, and that made me super happy. That gave me the love frequency to impart on him to help him feel better. Even if it's in the moment, but it's just the problems aren't going to go away until you solve them. But sometimes when you're in the heat of a moment, you need to take yourself out and you need to just, and that's either laughing or focus on something else. Distract yourselves, then come back to the problem with a fresh mind and a fresh perspective. And if you can't do that right away and something needs to be like tackled right then and there, do the best that you can. Again, we're human. But the message is in this freaking book. It's coming out of a place of love. Changing the circumstances and stops negative self-talk and I'm this and I'm that and blah, 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 and thinking the worst scenario for everything. Oh my God, the eclipse over the 3 days of darkness and the blah, 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 blah. Why? If something happens, great. If nothing happens, great. Treat it as another day. Make each and every day worth living, worth being excited about. Even when shit is hitting the fan, I'm going to use Carol's words, the diamond in the dog shit. Carol Maureen Friesen, hi. Find the diamonds in the dog shit. Dog swallowed a diamond. That's a up situation, but look, you found it. Took a few days, right? I need you guys who are having a hard time. I know not everybody is, right? But I'm trying to show you through my journey, like I'm going through it right now. And like that's For real. And I think I'm passing my test because I'm doing it graciously. I'm doing it with compassion in my heart. And not just because I'm biased on one side, because that's this, but I'm looking at everybody involved in the bigger picture. And I'm not taking sides. I'm removing myself and I put myself back, but I'm being supportive where I can be. That's where we all need to be right now when it comes to society. If you have to ask other people what do you think is going to happen? Taiwan's going to go down and we're all going to die? There is no death. It's just transmuting into another form. You're transcending. I, I don't know. This separation anxiety, that's something that needs to be tackled. And that's more like a fourth density thing, because that's like a stair step kind of lesson that people need to learn. Yeah, you're gonna have to stop separating everything because we're all one. We're all source. We're all fractalized, unique expressions of source. Everything. Aliens, demons, Satan. It's all God. See it as a movie. But the important part of why I'm telling you what I'm telling you, what I'm going through, my eyes are twitching. Why I'm saying and expressing what I am is twofold. Are you anchoring your energy? A lot of people are asking me, how do I project my light body? How am I able to see certain things? Sometimes I don't control it. It just happens. My higher self needs me at a certain spot, and I'm actually cognizant in this body consciousness to see it. I have proof of that with a friend from the Time Is Now podcast. I told that person exactly what was wrong and what was needed. And lo and behold, that's exactly the end result. Thank goodness. I saw things. I wasn't intentionally trying to eavesdrop and breach privacy. That's not me. I don't try to do that. But I needed to see something because a message needed to be delivered. Right? I needed to know my circumstances and my situation that just happened. Like where do I need to act? Where do I need to step in? And where do I need to like take a step back? When I anchored my energy, which was very difficult, and I meditated and I just released and let go and gave faith into the universe that everything's going to be okay. Even in the here and now, everything serves a purpose. Everything has a purpose, and all the purpose is an experience to gain wisdom. I calmed down and I was able to myself. Not easy, takes lots of time to figure how to do it out. And everybody's different, by the way. This book, I have another book that I can't wait to finish this one tomorrow morning and start the other one. I'm going to read something. I don't want to give the story away, but it's The Fall of Atlantis. And this also is a book that can help you heal. Because sometimes I know for myself, like I am expanding my consciousness. I've been getting a fuck ton of downloads and uploads and ear aches, and my ear is fine now, but like the other day, oh man, it was bad. Really bad. and a lot of it's still being filtered through my brain. But this book is giving you a multidimensional self aspect of what to heal, how to go about healing. Everything is in the vibrational love. It's like what this book equivalates to a lot of the scenarios that happen in here is like what we can take away from most people saw Peter Pan going to Never Never Land. And he stopped, like, I go back to Hook because I like Robin Williams. He couldn't get up in the air, even with the dust, until he had happy thoughts. He couldn't use his power. He couldn't he couldn't embody his empowerment if he wasn't in a love frequency. He needed to feel it, not just say, I love you. I feel love. No, you have to embrace it in your frequency. And once that happened, he was able to fly off and go to Never Never Land. Same concept is happening in this book. Everything has to come out of love. And this is the hardest part about duality and polarity. How the do you love something that you really absolutely can't stand and hate? That happened on Jack Breaks Out. I linked the episode in a few episodes ago, last Friday. I was on with Jack, and he said, well, you still have to see God in the. He's like, no, I can't, no. I don't condone their actions. I don't feed their energy. I don't talk about it because it's not in my situational to do so. I don't feed it. You know, the girls asked me about certain rappers and what was going on. And I said, well, there's a lot, and you guys have a big sense of what's going on. It's just surface level nonsense coming out right now. It goes a lot darker and a lot deeper. But I said, don't get upset. Don't feed your energy to it, because that's feeding them. Once you can grasp that, yeah, I don't condone their actions. I don't think it's right. I don't want it happening to anybody. They're here and they serve a purpose, regardless if you are okay with it or not. Everything serves a purpose. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a cause and effect. Well, our causes and effects are trying to be more positive and to create a new world. Theirs is to keep us where we are because they are greedy and they want to control everything. Just plain and simple. When you frequent your vibratory state higher, better things are going to come into your life. As the sun began to set, so did a major chapter in their lives. The old life must die and be released. Like the old skin of a snake, all that was known moved further and further away. As they turned to go into their cabin, they knew they were beginning a new adventure. She had the stature, had to go back to do some work. Lower density, but she died in Atlantis. And there were some very negative who were the reasons why she lost her. And she had to go back and kind of give them a little bit of compassion, but a lesson, like hard love, tough love. She gave some tough love, and guess what? It worked for a few. Crap. Can't save them all. But you sure as hell can start your own chapter and do the right thing. This is important. This validates me. Quote, yes, I have taken a body, but it is an infant, and I could still leave my body in the care of his mother. Soon I will be too old, but I heard from 14 that you needed me. I'll go back to reference what this is. You could hear 14 while you had a body? Yes, since my body is still an infant, a large portion of my essence is still in the fourth dimension. When I get a little older, I will need to put most of my essence into my physical form so that I could do my work there. Until then, I can enjoy visiting home as often as I wish. So when you're tethered to you are ready to come back to earth. You're a soul. You choose your parents, you choose your circumstances, and the moment of inception happens. Sperm meets egg, God spark, here's your entanglement to that egg. God spark. But you're not always in there. You're floating up and down. You're tethering you're anchoring your energy to the fetus. Anchoring. You're bringing your essence in, but you're going back home, and you're coming back in, and you're going back home. You're coming back in. And each time you're doing that, you're leaving your signature, your essence, your frequency in the womb, in the fetus. Then when it's closer to coming into birth, then you anchor your essence in, but it's still not the entirety of your soul. The soul is expansive. They dwell in different dimensions and different planes. We just can't perceive it with our eyes. And for us humans, we need tangible evidence to believe most people. Though I think that's starting to lift a little bit. I hope so. Visions from Visions, Venus, Suzanne Lai. Even though this is more of a story, there's still good nuggets in there to take away from and to heal yourself with. Learning like how I'm doing it is pretty much how these books are being written. I'm giving you my everyday walking life experience and how I'm handling and dealing with it, in hopes that some people can see a connection and maybe try to do the same thing. You don't have to do it the same way that I'm doing it. You just try something different. Try. Please. Trying to help you. Spirit blows me away. Because this is for everybody, but it also resonates highly with me. And this is the path that I'm taking. Fuck. Sorry if anybody's sensitive to cursing. It's just I'm in a wonky kind of day. Authentic truth. Discover your truth and let others find theirs. The truth will set you free, so long as you recognize there is more than one truth and that the answers you seek exist beyond the beliefs you hold now. There are many truths in the world. You don't have to believe them all. Just focus on what resonates with you. If you must conceive and convince yourself of your beliefs, They are not your truth. Your truth will always fulfill and satisfy. It is unconditional, meaning conditions don't have to change for you to live and feel your truth. There is no right or wrong, but there is cause and effect, or action and reaction. I just spoke about this. Master yourself, not someone else's process. When you change your beliefs, your life changes to match it. To do this, you must be aware of how you feel and practice focusing on what makes your heart sing, not shrink. When you align with your truth, you will flow, feel excited, and believe an authentic life is possible. If it is not your truth, you will resist, find it hard to commit, and feel indecisive. Soul writing. What are you walking in? Because I'm going to tell you what. You write your life. We become the stories we tell. So what story are you telling? Is it your truth? Is it your authentic truth? Is it what resonates with you? When people ask me my opinions, when I was going way back when in the beginning of this video, it's not because I don't want to answer you. It's because these things can be sought out inside of yourself. You need to remember, you need to do the work. You don't get a free pass. God doesn't have favorites. Source is not just playing through me, he's playing through everybody. Instant gratification, that's what children want. Instant gratification. They need everything now, 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 now. What? Spirituality, truth, is not sought out after in one day. The answers, as many of us have seen, have not truly come out yet because you're being deceived. How are you living your best life? You are the author of your story. Write one that inspires you and doesn't let anyone else command the pen. Physical reality is temporary. It is forever changing from one moment to the next. The events and experiences of your life are multidimensional living art. Their purpose and form will shift as your perception of them does. Let go of justifying or analyzing the events that become your stories and lift yourself into a new way of seeing them. Look at this card and imagine you are the angel rising and connecting to the soul light at the top of the pyramid. Sorry, guys. From this expanded viewpoint, you can see all your stories and their facets from a neutral position. A higher perspective will unveil and reveal what was previously unknown. You may be surprised, shocked, or embarrassed that your story you have identified with is not what you thought it was. Don't stress. This indicates that the stories are shaking loose and healing is occurring. You are doing so well. You are worthy and you are loved. You are the author of your book. You are in the minute writing it. And any moment you can say, I'm going to have the best day ever. Maybe that might not transpire the way you thought because you had expectations on it. But if you just put the feeling out there, like, I'm going to have a great day. Anything that comes in your purview that tries to throw you off, ignore it. Or say, okay, what did I learn from this? What can I gain from this experience that just happened to me? Why was I taken off the left field? Like, I wasn't, obviously I'm exhausted and I'm spent because I had to put up a barrier and shield myself because holy crap, the energy that was being flung around was insane. But I didn't judge, nor did I, the story I wrote, because I'm here to better other people's lives, including the people that I'm connected to. I take the eagle eye view and I look down and I said, okay, here's scenario 1, here's scenario 2, here's what could happen if this and that, and right? And I choose the path that I can best navigate myself in and through. It's not easy doing it in a moment or a snap. It takes time. It takes a lot of practice and patience for yourself. Are you giving yourself that compassion? Are you even doing the work? Oh, the work. What does the work mean? Going within and asking those deeper whys, what, whose, all the why, W questions. How? Why did this happen for me? If I'm Source, why would Source want me to suffer? Because that's what we chose. The greatest change happens with the greatest amount of suffering. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to tell people that when they're going through this shit storm. Just knowing from firsthand experience. I don't want your woo-woo stuff, Allison. Get that a lot. And that's okay. Not everybody is aware or ready for the truth, because sometimes I am an Aries. I am brutally honest. I don't sugarcoat things too often for people. I tell it how it is. A lot of people are falling out of my life right now because they can't handle the way I project my words. They can't take it. They're not at the level yet to take it. I love everybody to death, but not everybody's going to be for me, and not everybody who I thought had good intentions for me, they listen to hearsay, rumors, or they have a feeling, and oh my goodness, that all of a sudden I became a bad person. That's your perception of me and your projection. I'm not claiming it, and I will not abide by it or feed it energy. You know, when people stop talking to you out of nowhere and shit hits the fan and you can't get back to people, people take it personal. Are you being receptive to having grace and compassion? Doesn't seem like it in many instances, and a lot of people are going to fall away from you. It's the energy. We're in Aries. We got a solar eclipse incoming. Lots of crazy banana shit, fear, porn out there. You write your story and you walking in your authentic truth. Nothing is going to bother you. You're not going to feed into drama because you're above it. Awareness, my favorite word. The energy of awareness supports our capacity to focus our attention on all aspects of multidimensional world so that we create a reality that we truly choose. Tangible evidence, my favorite word. Intuition, another one. The energy of intuition supports our ability to conceive the subtle language of the realms beyond the three-dimensional reality. this is not the end all be all of existence. And we want to anchor our energy to Gaia, Mother Earth. Anchored, not when we die, we're planted here, we're not moving. That's not what that means. I know some of you out there are like, you're saying to anchor yourself in your space. So when I die, am I going to become a ghost and be like Beetlejuice? No, that's a choice. While you're here and you have a toroidal field and a energy body and a Merkaba, ow, I'm short and I'm stuck on wires. I need a new chair. What fell? I don't always do this. Conclusions are within reach. Full moon eclipse. That just happened. Ha! Full moon in Libra. That just happened. A win-win outcome is in the forecast. So as much as the energy is like throwing up crazy Mercury retrograde fucking bullshit, things will be okay. Because you put that intention into the universe and you're willing it into manifestation. It's just another day. And if you are spiritual and you are very sensitive, what I do suggest to do is anchor your energy that day, ground your energy that day. Put, and these things don't take a long time to do. Me projecting my light body does, but grounding and anchoring your energy, ground. You will anchor your energy as you keep showing yourself that you're anchored, that you're grounded. A storm comes, it isn't moving you. You're not going nowhere. That's what I mean by anchoring. Get the energy built up in your house. You see all these crazy tornadoes happening, and people go into their freaking hallway or some crazy part of their house they were just near and they didn't know where to go because it wasn't a safe situation no matter where they went. And that part of the house didn't blow away into the tornado. It stood. Okay, the rest of the house went. But those people, unconsciously and known to them, built up enough energy in a space that it saved their lives. You see that's tangible evidence they're being protected. Unfortunately, we choose the manner in which we die, and a lot of cataclysmic things take a lot of people out. That's how they chose to go. That doesn't mean that's their story and that's going to be their legacy. I don't take my parents' death lightly, but their legacy is more than their death. That's just a little portion of their infinitude of what they are and how beautiful they are. Do you think they're blue button out there, by the way? Nope. It's just an identity that is chosen for an experience. When you detach emotionally from ethnicity, color, issues, eye color, DNA, bloodlines, we're all one. See the bigger picture, please. It is fascinating to do all the research. It is fascinating to look into that stuff. I'm not saying not to, but people are so obsessed with those concepts that you're being anchored in the wrong way. You're being distracted from the work that you need to do on yourself. Regardless if you're moving in this physical vehicle to seeing physically fourth dimension, or you're going to pass away in the body you are within now, and you're going to get a new vehicle, it's up to you where you're going to go next. Read the book. You are worthy. Aim for what you want and believe in yourself. Yes. Are you doubting yourself? Are you doubting your abilities? Are you stopping yourself because you can't talk around other people because they think you're crazy and woo-woo? Are you walking in your authentic truth? Because if you tell me you can't talk around, you can't be on the phone because this person's not awake, well, how much respect do they actually have for you? Because you should be able to have a conversation with anybody. Doesn't need to be with them about truth or whatever. If you can't speak your truth, if you can't be yourself, then what are you? And I'm only doing this passionately because I really absolutely care about so many people that are in this situation. They tell me all the time, well, I can only talk to you when this person's on the house because X, Y, and Z. Some of it makes sense, and I totally am okay with that. I'm not biting out or chewing anybody out. What I'm asking you is, are you really living your authentic truth? Are you stepping into your empowerment of what you are in totality, not just little fragments of what you want to pick on the smorgasbord? We're going to the buffet today, Allison. I'm picking the lobster. And I'm gonna get some caviar with that lobster. Oh, but then there's like the curly fries at the kids' table. What are you picking? What story are you writing? You are worthy of having your experience told. Why should you have to hide that because someone doesn't believe you? Do you know that Viking has no concept? He respects it, but he doesn't feed into it. He doesn't understand it. But he doesn't knock me for it. He doesn't make fun of me for it. He's doing him as I'm doing me, and he respects it. There's not many people that have ever walked into my life in a relationship sense, whether it be friendship or like a romantic relationship, that many people could tolerate the level of talking and the level of thinking and how I express myself. A lot of people can't handle it because I don't shut the fuck up. I'm telling you how it is from my perspective. You do not need to take it home with you. You can leave it at the door. But why are you judging me? Because I'm being myself. I'm talking my truth. Maybe if you had the courage to do it, you wouldn't feel so eager to place a judgment and to separate further. Instead of just saying, okay, well, inference, I don't see her away, but I still love you. You're my friend. Let's move on to something else. That's a better way to approach it. Still sucks. But not everybody is meant to be at your awareness scale. The Viking is definitely not on the spiritual awareness scale at all. He doesn't quite understand it. He doesn't believe a lot of the things that I say because he is somebody that needs tangible physical evidence. He doesn't doubt me because he knows where my heart lies. But he needs to see it for himself. He needs to have his own experiences. That book kind of gives you a little hinty-hoo. Remember, love is the key. Love what you have in your life right now. Instead of when something drops, what will I be able to get? No, enjoy what you have now. I enjoy my books. I love going back to my old books. I love my books. I love creating artwork. I get lost all day doing it. I have to schedule my days in when I'm not going crazy with everything else in life to make artwork and have a clear energy signature to do so. But love is the key. You have to start loving everything. That is hard to do in this density because a lot of people still are on the wood chipper parade bandwagon. And I totally understand it. I'm not taking that away from you because I used to want to join in on that party too. But the harder part and the inside of me knows that everything is source. So how would I want to put other aspects of myself that I'm not playing in a wood chipper? When people say we're all one, that means everything. I don't know how many times I'm going to say this until I'm blue in the face. We are everything. Everybody else outside of you is your other self having a different role. So I'm playing an aspect that no one else is playing. The billions of people around the world are having experiences that are me not experiencing in this body because they're already having that experience in that body. If God's in all things and God's having the experience through us, we all orchestrated this movie together. And there's an Akashic record that you can go to. Ooh. Think about it. See with your heart. The time is now to hear the message. Are you feeling it here? That's the important part. Are you coming here with everything? Not quite here just yet because there's some ego issue. We all have it. Are you coming to your heart? If your heart's unsure, then you go to your gut, to your head, to your gut, to your head. Because your intuitive instincts are here. When you say I got butterflies in my stomach, or I just have, my stomach, my tummy hurts. Why do kids say that? What are they picking up on? It's not, sometimes it is a physical, oh, I got diarrhea, or oh, I'm constipated, or oh, I have gas. Like kids don't know how to verbalize, like, I'm anxious and I'm feeling a certain way and my stomach is in knots. And they don't know how to use their intuition. Most people don't. It's a matter of learning. And that's only going within your body to feeling the signs that you get. How do you feel? When you walk into a place, you're like, man, this is just not for me. You walk into a restaurant, you're like, I don't like the energy in here. I just don't like the atmosphere. Something is going inside that's having given you that feeling. That's your intuition. You just have an off feeling. Even if something doesn't happen, the potentialities of something could, if you showed up, is exponentially higher. You can't stop living your life, and you can't run away from death. That's a human third density cycle that we all will eventually have to face. I'd rather be the Viking that says, go to Valhalla, and I'd say, hey Freya, come pick me up. I'm ready to go home, and be honorable about it. There's no fear. Don't fear death. And that's a process each and everybody takes differently. So, don't listen to me. I'm harsh right now. But don't fear the separation either. We all go to the light on our own journey, on our own. My father had to close his eyes. He didn't have to close my eyes. He closed his eyes and he left. You had to take the stair step to physically see that he was dead and to move forward. And then his assistants came to take him up. But those are his other selves. Vulture spirit. Nothing is wasted. Love and spirit does this to me. We're going to take two at the same time. Be spirit. Sweet results await. So let's focus on this positivity instead of all the crazy nonsense going on outside of us that's happening on this outside world. Hi. Dolphin spirit. This and that are true. Just like the cards were telling us. Perception. It's how you intake information. For the gamers out there, source code, and you have your individualized code. Giraffe spirit, see the bigger picture. You gotta love spirit. My other selves. Cards are being stubborn. Another two. So there's something happening with two. Open your mind, connect to the divine within. So everything I'm saying that's a little harsh, the cards are kind of repeating. Make changes. Do all you can do. Do all you can to be all you are. Tongue-tied there. This is the theme of this energy that's been all the planetary alignment shifting, conjuncting, squaring. Change is here. Embrace it. And if they're not the best changes, like outside circumstances change something that you're dealing with, okay, so navigate that change and try to give it love and positivity. Say, okay, well, now how do I navigate this? And then go in and ask yourself. I'm doing that constantly every day. I'm like, okay, so this isn't pleasant, but what am I gaining from this experience? How can I change my perception about going forward? Keyword. Inspire beauty. Show your inner beauty to the world. I love that card. Because when you're walking your authentic self and your truth, the beauty emanates off of you. People start noticing you. This is the hard one. Forgiveness. Be careful of emotional eruptions. I'm not saying to forgive and forget, but you need to forgive yourself first. Forgive the other person because you probably asked them to be an asshole and do something bad to you because it was all for a learning growth experience. But, you know, some people have narrow minds and can't see outside the bigger picture and stubborn. But that's okay. They might need another method in that madness of learning. You are unique. Be brave, a little crazy, but be yourself. I've never, ever shied away from being my complete, absolute self, that I'm happy. The way I do my eye makeup makes me happy. The way I dress makes me happy. Are you one of those people that need to play the Joneses and not have your identity? I talk about it all the time. When I was in high school, Old Navy came out with fleece sweaters that everybody wore and everybody looked the same. Me, I come in with my loud and proud outfit. I don't care because I'm being me. I'm being unique. I'm being who I was meant to be. You cast a spell with your existence. Magic flows brightly and radiantly within you. We always associate spells and oh my God, they were casting. Blah. Stop in the negative. Stop thinking negative. Your program, that's a program. Get out of the program. Get out of the matrix. Magic is all around you. Harness it for the good and the light. It works for the light. You harness it for the bad. It works for the bad. Goes both ways. Oh my God, there's witches out there. Okay, and there are light ones and dark ones. There's ones that work with herbs. My bookcase behind me, I'm dropping books out, dropping cards all over the place. Sorry, guys. The books behind me, 90% of them are of the positive. It's how to plant herbs and what herbs are used for. And yeah, there's ceremonies and stuff, but everybody has some sort of like way of going about how they're doing their meditation. Some people like to do yoga. Some people like to do whatever. Some people like to divinate. Everybody has a method of their own. Find one that works for you. Have courage. Awaken the warrior of light within you. This is my role right now. I am the warrior in the garden. I'm not afraid to use what's on my side or something sharp to defend life. What are you worth? Are you worth fighting for? Are you fighting for the light? It's an illusion because we're playing that out in fourth density, but like fifth, looking down, there is no war. It's just a battle of ego. The lotus within you awakes. You are a master in light on high. This is big time because this is all of you. That lotus is unveiling itself in layers. And every piece of leaf and flower that blossoms out has something that is going to come out of its center. All of it's unraveling to reveal the beautiful essence you are. Embrace it. Be the lotus. Nature. Like I said, anchoring, first step is to ground. Once you're grounded, then you can anchor your energy and you build up the energy around you. You can use nature to help you do that. You're building up your toroidal field, you're building up your light, you're building up the energy which is in the space. So when you are having a frantic day, shit like me, I go to my happy spot, I go into my pyramid and I just let it go. And all the energy I built up in there is now giving me a big hug and saying it's okay. Forgiveness. We have to forgive ourselves first and then forgive others. You are not alone. Because you're a multidimensional, beautiful soul that is infinite, and everything is you, and you are everything. You are made of the universal atoms and molecules and quarks and photons that make up the universe. You're never alone. And most consciousness is multidimensional. You just can't see them. They're all around you. Trust that you're on the right path and that you know what you're doing. Trust your intuition. Trust your gut. Trust your heart. It takes practice to listen to the most parts of yourself to understand what is happening, what's going on. The monkey mind is really what gets in the way because you start questioning, and then the OCD brain kicks in, the ADHD brain kicks in, and and everything goes back to the negative. Like, oh my God, what happens if this state of emergency happens? Oh my God, should I stock up for food? Oh my God, what is going to happen? The clouds and blah, 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 blah. Like, it's just a day. Take it how it comes. Enjoy the moment. Stop feeding into nonsense. Balance. Difference is a necessary part of human evolution, and everything in life is comprised of opposites, which together make life whole. If you light a candle in a room already flooded with light, the light of your candle would be indistinguishable from the light which already exists. Because of darkness, we are able to perceive light. Both are necessary. I don't make this shit up. Encouragement. Your love is invaluable to the earth and to those around you, even though you may not always see the positive effect your love has on others. Trust, for it does. Each time you offer love through a loving gesture, thought, or word, you plant a seed of love. And love always generates more love. Trust and continue your loving work. So if anybody questions what we need to be working on, it's really finding that love where we really can't love other people because they're evil. It's going within and doing the work and understanding yourself and walking in your truth. Because let's face it, when everybody's waiting for some fantastical thing to happen, well, you didn't do the work, and now everybody can read your thoughts. The skeletons are out of your closet. You haven't healed, you haven't released, and all your dirty laundry is out there for everybody to see. But here's the difference. They're not judging you anymore because they moved up and they saw the awareness, and you're like, oh, that's where they are. Okay. Oh, they did that. I love them, and no matter what. Yeah, here we get some assholes who have some very harsh judgmental capacities in their brain. and they will egg you on and be a horrible person towards you. But in a higher density perspective, your closet will be open for all to walk in and see all the wrongs you have ever done. And it's up to you to heal it, because they, just as their closet is open, you're not there to judge no longer. You're not judging anybody, because that's the experience that soul needed. They were a catalyst for change. They were a catalyst to see the wrongs and rights of the world. Still God having an experience. Last card before I retire and get some sleep, because I still have an early morning. And then tomorrow I will be on Jack Breaks Out Locals with JQ and Jack and Conan, hopefully, doing Q&A. Jack has some fascinating information he would like to share with everybody. And I'm just there for moral support and spiritual guidance support and perspective. Owl Spirit of 852 Hertz. Beautiful card. Recalibration to a higher order of divine purpose is in progress. It is not always a smooth ride, but it is safe to be fearless as you gently hold space for new ways of thinking, living, and seeing to emerge. You are encouraged to let go of opinions and belief systems that cannot support you in higher frequency states. You shall soon recognize a truth that cuts through confusion and frees you to proceed with love, peace, and higher understanding. Everything I say on this channel. Spirit Owl is the wisdom bearer, the one who perceives the intended meaning, underlying words, and truth behind appearances. Even in darkness, Spirit Owl senses subtle movements with accuracy. The heightened senses of Spirit Owl are akin to the supernatural perception of the higher self. Your higher self sees through illusion and with compassion. It astutely recognizes the agendas of the ego and tunes into the empowering energies of the universe to find constructive way to express its loving purpose. Spirit Owl enhances your connection to your higher self, guiding you beneath the compelling nature of appearances, where a vastly different and spiritual empowering perspective is available to you. From each heightened awareness, you can accurately intuit the complex drives at work in yourself and others. This makes it easier to have compassion, outwit negativity, and make decisions that are helpful and healing rather than adding to the confusion or disorder. When Spirit Owl appears in a reading, a mystery is soon to be solved, and the ensuing clarity will bring relief and spiritual reward. A Spirit Owl is a message bearer. This oracle is also a positive omen for your future, a sign that a seemingly impossible or impenetrable situation is unraveling. 852 Hertz is the frequency of the higher self connection, which favors the clearing of the mind and awakening of genuine insight and higher understanding. The frequency of 852 Hertz opens one to perceive light and communicate with the realms of higher light beings. With such clarity of mind, it is easy to recognize lower level beings who do not operate from unconditional love and pure wisdom. There is no attraction to such beings. The soul at this high frequency is the pure light of wisdom, grace, and spiritual liberation, to which the soul is drawn from nourishment and restoration. I'm telling you, there is no sense in seeking something another cannot provide you because of their spiritual limitations. You can only find it from those who are able to give it. Keep this in mind as you awaken the inner eye of wisdom. Seek the purest love to nurture your heart, and share it freely. The Oracle of Spirit Owl of 852 Hertz reconnects you to your authentic soul, path, and higher purpose. This is just summing all the cards up, by the way, and the first two especially. It is a sign that your mind is tuning into something true. It augurs clear seeing and higher understanding. You will be freed from a struggle and set on a creative, empowering, and effective path of manifestation. This is a blessing of creative psychological fire. Fire! Trust that the more you let go, the more you will experience renewal and stunning spiritual rebirth. The past is truly over and a new era is dawning. I don't make any of this up. There is no magical way to just pick cards by feeling and touching them and they all succinct together. There's no way. I've seen people who are first learning how to like tap their energy into divining. It's about the vibrations that you're feeling. It's about intuition and using it. And I can move my hands on a deck. If I don't feel something, then I'm not asking the right question. I shuffle up the cards and I fold them out, fan them out, and I feel the energy coming off the card. And the one that vibrates the most is the one that Spirit wants me to pick. That's the way I do it. Everybody does it differently. Anchor your energy right now. Work on it. Everything spiritual takes time. It's practice. You have to be committed to yes, if it happens at the same time every day, great. But that is not how life practically works. Like I had plans Monday and Wednesday. I had plans and I had work to do. And that got side railed like real quick. But something more important, a lesson, something I needed to see, something I needed to anchor my energy to, needed to be there. Sometimes it's not about me, and I don't take it all personal. Sometimes people need just the extra bonus joy bubble I am of light, that they need protection. As things were unfolding the last week, I have called upon my higher self, all the aspects of the angels, all the powerful entities up there to shield not just me, but everybody that is involved. And I called to each and every one of them a shield. And I saw the mirrors around them and the chainmail and whatever have you. Sometimes we are the ones that have to jump into chaos in order to be the stability and the frequency to make a difference. We're the game changers, some of us. Even though we're in other people's shit, we're not there to stir the pot. We're there to make it better, calm. That doesn't always happen. But no, I know for myself, my stability of my light and my frequency has held things in place. So things have a direction to move forward. It's not up to me to make that decision. I'm not really affected. But talking sense into people. Are you talking sense into your family or your friends or whatever situation you're in? I'm just bringing my personal stuff up. Obviously I can't go into detail, but enough so that you kind of grasp where you need to place yourself in your situations in life. And like, oh, well, I remember Allison saying, like, okay, now think about it. Go into the bird's eye view. Look down. What do I see? Oh, wait a second. I'm attached to that bias that someone fed me. Or I love that person. Why would they betray me? Okay, but what was the reason? Are you looking at it though in those ways? What was the lesson? What is lacking? And when people fall away from you, there's a reason. Sometimes it's not communicated, and then you're left with the, well, I don't know. I'm in that all the time. People just can't stand my frequency, or I say things harshly and they can't take it. I seated you as much as possible. You're always welcome back. Hi. I'm not here to hate anybody, and I forgive people that just can't see beyond their own screen. They're not seeing a bigger picture. It happens all the time. If they come back, it was meant to be. If not, it's meant to be. It's always meant to be. And things can always change. Things can always get better. Things can get worse. But I strive to make things better and try to walk a path of, okay, what am I learning from this? Everything is, what lesson am I getting from this? If I don't see or smell a lesson, then maybe it's someone else that is the one getting the lesson or receiving it. I'm just a catalyst for people to change. Maybe you are too. I violate community standards, by the way. That's what my shirt says, YouTube. It's getting late. I have to wake up super early in the morning. I might make 2 coffees. I try not to drink more than 1 cup of coffee a day. Sometimes that's very difficult. Today was very difficult. But please heed the cards. I'm going to try out this 852 hertz on pure tone when I go into the shower. And I like to do the bath too. We'll see if I have enough time to do a bath today. But even if it's for 20 minutes, just having the tone play and reverberate in your bathroom area is very cleansing. The noise might bother you. It's not easy stuff to listen to, but like when you harmonize with it, there's a difference. I know I feel it. So please keep your heart calm during the next couple of weeks. You're going to get thrown a lot of people who are going to give it to you. Their predictions, this is happening. Oh my God, like a Muppet. You know, the Muppets. This is what's really going on. I'm watching it unfold in front of my eyes, and I'm not paying attention to it anymore. I'm barely on social media. I don't have time to. But when I'm there and I'm seeing it, like it's a Muppet show. Everybody's like, eh. Like there's no reason to feed your energy to that shit. You are the one that perceives your reality. So if you see a flash of light, or you are stocking up because you believe an emergency order from a governor, the whole shit show is going to happen. And do it in a place of love to stop fearing the shit. Stop fearing. Come from a place of love. Oh, I'm going to stock up because just in case, I and everybody around me will be sustained, regardless of an event or not. having extras of things sometimes when nothing happens, and then all of a sudden you find out that someone's house was on fire, or there's a food bank drive going on, and you can donate some of that food that you were stocking up and for. That could help somebody. Just think about stuff like that, like put things into logic and reason and perspective, because that is what kind of grounds this reality. We're still in it. Whether you want to, I'm more on a fourth level density experience. I'm moving and shifting into my higher self. I'm already seeing the shifts. I'm already like walking into manifestations, right? Shit sucks for me right now. I'm not letting it affect me. Old self would like freak out and did what I did on this channel 2 years ago and get really angry at people. It is what it is. It taught me a lesson, and it teaches other people to stop focusing on the one or two people. Amish mindset, and that's extended. It doesn't need to do with that. It's extending help. So the next couple of days, things do happen, and they're happening at a rapid speed. Go within and say you're going to be fine, and you're going to be happy, and you're sitting in the love space. You're walking your authentic truth and self. You write your story. So what is your story telling you? If you had to go back a couple of chapters, was the way you were reacting worth it? How can you change those reactions? How can you change those communications? How can you go back? Mercury retrograde, the past is coming back to sneak around you. So if the past is coming back in a cycle, and it's all about communication, what is going on in your life right now? Are you allowing the negative to dictate to you how to feel? Are you allowing everybody to tell you what is going to actually happen on the 8th? Oh my gosh. Or are you just going to live your life in the present moment and be happy and enthusiastic for the next day coming? And even when you have a hard day and things are rough and tough, you're still looking forward to your life. You're looking forward to bettering your life and making everything amazing. So it's a choice. What's yours? Write it in your story. Be authentic. And until the next time, guys, this was Spiritual Soul Advice with Oracle cards and me just ranting because I needed to do that. Sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protection energy. Please be safe and be seen. Once again, don't be naive and go with your gut instincts. Okay? Stop feeding the fear and feed love. Everything is love. Make it love, because you love love. I love love. I love, 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 love. And I love all of you guys. And thank you all for supporting my channel by liking, sharing, subscribing, checking out my portfolio. My artwork is not for everybody. That's an honesty. I don't like everybody's artwork. It's a thing, right? It's okay if you don't like it. There's other ways to support me if you're interested. I like energy exchange. So I'm creative. So let me know. But check out my website, AllykatCreations211.com. If you're interested in anything, email me. And recently it's been harder to get into my email and evil things, but I will eventually see them. So if you do email me, give me some patience and some time, but I will get to you. And I'm really quick about my responses when I'm home. So reach out if you're interested in anything. If you're interested in any of the books you see behind me and you're not sure where to go get them, I can give you some avenues. I'm here. But just be patient when I respond. I'm being pulled in a million places at once. And a lot of people message me not realizing they think they're the only one, and there's like 25 other people doing it. So just have patience with me. I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm not trying to disrespect you or the things that you send me. I might just hit the like button because I'm not home and I'm with children, or I'm at dinner, or I'm driving, or like I'm meditating, right? So just take that into like cognition. Go within, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Bye for now.